Well, it's another day. We're way past the halfway mark and we're getting closer to the business end for this, the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. Every game from here will be very important in terms of how the teams end the preliminary round. We have a game on today. The Clove Challengers, they're facing off against the Bayleaf Blasters. The match referee, Mr. Norman Gilbert, is here. He has the coin. Over to you, Mr. Matchref.
Tail is the call. Tail it is.
And so, Micah, you won the toss. And I'm not going to guess. I'm going to tell you that you will bowl first.
First of all, let me thank the Almighty for bringing us here. Yes, we're going to have a bowl first.
All right, so we know that the teams bowling first really try to restrict. What are your plans in terms of restricting this strong Clove batting lineup?
I mean, to be honest, they're playing very good cricket, so we have to give them the props. But anything under 100, we're going to be comfortable with that.
All right, we know that we've gone past the halfway mark. The boys, their bodies may be feeling the pressure. How are the guys feeling in the camp?
I mean, for our team, we will be playing 6 games back-to-back. So I think he have a little pressure, but I just try to tell him that we try and stay positive, stay calm, and try and just enjoy our cricket.
All right, well, we hope you enjoy and that you have a win. Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to be speaking with the Clove Challengers. Clove Challengers captain Roland Cato. Roland, top of the table, playing some really good cricket. You have put some really good consistency in terms of your game winning. How does the boys feel now at this point?
Well, as I said in the post-interview yesterday after the match, the guys are pretty confident. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We just want to take each game as it comes. Just go there and play good cricket, do the basics right, and let the results take care of itself.
How is the fitness of the guys holding up in terms of the fact that we've gone past halfway and, you know, it's a lot of days of cricket?
We have a few injuries in the camp, only one major. Tyson have a hamstring injury, so doubt he'll be able to participate in the rest of the tournament. But all the rest of guys, you know, we're treating the little injuries that we have and fighting it for the team.
All right, well, good luck to you. We do hope that the Clove really make it as far as they should this year.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, so that was the captain of the Clove Challengers, Roland Cato. And so we're going to be getting ready for ball one on this, the Super Tuesday, we would call it, right here at the Last Suggest playing field. Well, there you had it. That was the news from the middle. The Bayleaf Blasters, they won the toss and they will be bowling first. Welcome everybody to yet another day of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 coverage right here from the Last Suggest playing field in the beautiful parish of St. David's, the Virgin Parish as we call it. I am C.R. John and I'm here. I'm going to bring you some of the games, do a little bit of the commentary for you today. We may not be here that long, but I will endeavor to bring you all the excitement in this matchup with only 6 preliminary round matches before we head into the playoffs. All these teams will be vying to ensure that they get to the top position or the top 2 positions, which will really see them be well placed heading into the playoffs. And so each match from here on in will be very, very crucial in terms of where the teams finish. The Clove Challengers, they are out front on 10 points, leading the tournament. From 6 matches, they have 10 points. And they will be followed on the points table by the Nutmeg Warriors. They are on 8 points from 6 matches. The Ginger Generals, 6 matches, they are on 6 points. The Cinnamon Pacers, from their 6 matches, they are on 4 points. The Saffron Strikers, also their 6 matches, they are also on 4 points. The Bayleaf Blasters, their 6 matches, they also have 4 points. So it's a pretty tight race at the bottom. There's not much gap between the Nutmeg and the Clove. It's only 2 points. And so the Clove will want to extend their winning streak just to make sure that they cement their place at the top spot in the playoffs. And so it's going to be a very interesting matchup today. The Bayleaf Blasters, they are desperate for some points. They want to get themselves up the table and look to really maybe displace some of the table toppers. So it makes for really interesting cricket here this morning. The umpires, they are heading out, as you see on your monitors. Condition just a bit overcast. Not really the brilliant sunshine that we've had for the first few days of the tournament. The last few days, there has been a bit of rain in the atmosphere. But we're still hoping that we will get a full quarter of games on today. And here comes the Bay Leaf Blasters. And they were involved in a showdown last evening. 5 over a side match, which was a very crucial match for both teams. Fortunately, the Bay Leaf Blasters, they went down. So they want to rebound here this morning. And they want some much needed points. Let me just run through for you the lineup. Micah Narayan, the captain. Dylan Douglas. Wavell Benjamin. Dante Alexander. Kieran Kotoy. Kelshawn Andrew. Calvin Blash. Alvin Ramnath. Dwayne Walcott. Dana George. And Delon Joseph. That's the playing 11 for the real property Grenada Bay Leaf Blasters. And they will certainly want to blast away the Clove challengers and get that much needed 2 points to bring them up the table. The Clove challengers, they're playing 11. Roland Cato, the captain. Darren Ned. Haston Jackson. Javid Hazard. Cut Murray. Samuel Charles. Nicholas Redhead. Deron Hippolyte. Richard Rogers. Sheldon Joseph. And Jelani George. That's the playing 11 for the Clove challengers. So it's going to be a tight one, a really epic one. We do hope that the Bay Leaf Blasters can somehow make it a bit more interesting by pulling off a win here today, Hector. And if they do so, it means that the other teams that are on 4 points have to win in order to continue. So a lot to play for. Well, here we go. First delivery. Ramnath to Jackson. And they pick up the first run of the day of the first delivery. It's very important that the tactics of the Bay Leaf Blasters be on point. The bowlers want to start well. So far, they have started well. Ramnath will be under a bit of pressure. Again, good start. Keeping it tight. In this format, the T10 format, it's all about economy as a bowler. As a batter, it's all about the strike rate. So, Charles just back and pulling this one into the mid-wicket. Man out there. We'll get one. So, good job so far by Ramnath. It's 3 deliveries. 2 runs. Things quite quiet. Let's see how Jackson responds. He cuts well. That's a beautiful shot. That was just precision through the offside. I mean, not a man move. The only movement was to go retrieve that ball.
Yes, delivery outside. Just shortish outside the off. So not very short, but one could have seen Jackson getting deeper in the crease, pulling away and hitting it off the middle of the bat and bisecting the cover and extra cover fieldsmen. and it raced away to the boundary for 4. But again, as he was saying, the Clove challengers, they probably have been the most confident of the teams we've seen so far. And a loud appeal and given, so Jackson has to go just like that.
Yeah, what a comeback from Alvin Ramnot. Jackson not really pleased there, but Ramnot getting that one to just slide past the bat. And the umpire raising the dreaded finger. And so it means after that beautiful boundary, Jackson has to go. He's clearly upset, but in this part of the game, the umpire decision is final. And Bailiff Blasters, they strike a big blow.
A really big blow. But again, it's what we come to expect. Wickets in the first over again. And 6 for 1. And as I was saying, the Clove challengers, they're very confident though. They probably, for me, it has a good middle order. I don't think they'll be worried too much with the fall of the wicket that early. They'll probably more want to look at the rate of scoring and probably post a reasonable total to defend later on.
Well, the Bailiff Blasters, they will be happy. Aston Jackson has been known to be a really prolific scorer. He has a 360-degree shot repertoire. And so they will be happy to see the back of him. He's gone 5 runs from 3 deliveries. Strike rate of 166. Strike rate is good, but the bowling of Ramnat was better in this instance. 1 delivery to go in his over. Let's see how he closes off the over. It will just stroke in that one. And so it's an end of the first over. The Bailiff Blasters will be happy. They will be happy that they've seen the back of Jackson. And so it means that the fact that they've gotten a wicket, they just will need another one to back up the decision to field.
I hope you're not putting the, how you say, the wood on them, because we've seen wickets fall on regular occasions in the first and second overs of matches. And if this trend continues today, it will be nothing new really, but you would want to, what we've seen though is Samuel Charles out there. He has been basically the rock around which most of the top of the batsmen have come in and expressed themselves. He's played pretty well as the tournament goes on. Ramnat himself too. I think he looked much better as the tournament rolls on, and you know, the more these guys play, the more they get into it and they learn more about the conditions and adapt more to conditions, and that's a very good sign.
Well, the Blasters, they're opening with Dana George, medium pace from the pavilion end. Here he is, to Roland Cato. Not the sort of start that he wants. But George will love to get one of these 2 batters here now within this over, just to put the Bailiff Blasters, give them that sense of purpose and hope that they can roll over this team and get that much needed points.
As I said, special start by Dana George, of course, extras have certainly had its effect on the game.
That's a good start there from George. He had Cato just thinking about it. He has the field set. The man is out there at the deep cover. And he's sliding that ball across Cato. Let's see if he can bring one back in. Again, has him reaching. And there he goes. Oh my goodness, I just said it. Over number 2, a wicket goes. The big bat, Roland Cato, has just pushed at this one, and George will be really happy. You can see the excitement. Look at him. Job done.
Well, Cato looked like he haven't woken up to the reality of what was really being done out there. One can see George looking for that wide lane, that wide full line outside the off stump, and Cato sparred at what, at 2, and making contact the second time. It was a good delivery. In fact, it forced him to really push at it, which probably, again, one of the things we always talk about, Rondell, is the fact that maybe there are some deliveries they will say, okay, well, it's not a high percentage shot. It's not a shot I should play at this time, because probably it's 10 overs, yes, but I have some time. So, but again, the pressures of scoring. If it's two deliveries and wanting to get ball and bat, I only managed to get an edge to it. But a good start for Belief Blasters. I think as I said, they haven't had the best of
Well,
results.
tell you what, Hector, this is T10 cricket. The dot ball percentage you want to keep low. So as a batter, your mindset going out there, you want to score off every delivery. And it just may cause the batters to maybe, go at one. But that's part of the game. You will find that in T10, because it's all about keeping the scoreboard ticking and ticking as fast as you can. And so Darren Ned comes to the crease. He's been in prolific form, Darren Ned. George just spraying that one a bit. Really getting a nice shape on the deliveries. And he's getting it to go across the right-hander really nicely. But I dare say I would love to see him maybe just bring one back just as part of the art of deception. Maybe get through the gate of Darren Ned,
Of course,
who has seen the first one go away.
Of course, Captain Narayan probably would be happy too that the bowlers are sticking to the plans. And this time trying probably to get a little too straight, maybe just wanting to get a little straighter onto the stumps, maybe looking for that one which comes back and just missing the target and going down the leg side, and of course being penalized. But I don't think I don't think Micah Narayan would be too unhappy with the lines and the lengths so far being adopted by the bowlers.
There he goes again, getting that one just to move away. It's a bit wide. Just needs to hone in on an area just outside that stump. Maybe just getting it to pitch just about the middle stump and move away. It will be a bit more effective. You want to draw the batter into playing that false shot. So you don't want to be too wide, although you have the protection. Let's see. He has 4 deliveries. Decided to go around the wicket. Left-handed George in. Shot. Ned just getting an on the edge there. So George will take this as a delivery, a dot delivery. He's happy that it was not dispatched.
But that's the plan. The plan seemed to be definitely to have the batsman playing well away from the body most of the time. And so far it has, you have to say it has worked. 11 for 2. We're in over number 2.
We want to see this one just come back a bit, slower delivery. And this is where I would love to see George just put it into the mind of Darren Ned. Hey, I can get that one to come back in, so be wary of me. Sometimes you have to set it up that you have the batters thinking and not too assured as to what they need to do.
He will know too if he can keep Darren Ned quiet for a while. There's always a chance that he will want to go after one.
There he goes.
Yes.
Really not to the pitch of it. And it came through a bit slower. Ended up just bunting it to the man there at the cover region. But again, the fact that he got him to play that false shot, George will be happy.
And of course, with one eye also on the weather, it's been a pretty cool overcast morning. And probably we've just seen a few raindrops.
There he goes, cutting well. There's protection out there. Can he get around? He can't. Not really the sort of fielding that the captain will need at this point, but Alexander just missing, maybe running around a little too fast, expecting the ball to come to him a bit faster. Clove challengers will take this boundary just as a make-up for the loss of the hard-hitting Roland Cato.
Yes, they will. And certainly, as I was saying, it's a cool morning. It's a very overcast morning. And one has to keep their fingers crossed that we have no interruptions. And it's 15 without loss. So say good morning to you, Pastor Stevenson Worm.
Good morning, Justin. And good morning to listeners and viewers, wherever you are, with this is the third over of the match, bowled by Ramnat. Clove challengers off to a bad start, 15 for 2. But Charles is there. He had a good knock yesterday. A lot would depend on these two, Charles and Ned, to restore things for Clove challengers and to help them to get a good fighting total. Ball turned up to mid-wicket.
That's 4.
And in fact goes into the boundary for 4. Well, it didn't look really the ease with which he hit the ball. Are we going to see that again? Looked as though he just got into the line with no big bat lift and was able to use the pace and also use his wrist work very well. Yielded 4. Well, that was a great shot, really. Wraps them on the pad. There's an appeal for leg before. They go to for a single. They get it. Might have been on the high side. Immediately the umpire was just running across to the right.
Of course, it was a bit high, hitting them closer to the thigh than on the pad itself. Another single, 20 for 2.
Good bowling by Ramnath. He's kept good line, good control. Flatter in the air. Well bowled. Wicket to wicket. So the current run rate being 7.50. And if they continue along that sequentially, it's going to be 75 projected. They're going to want more than that outside the off stump. And turns it up on the onside. The bowler runs across and fields to his own bowling. They get a single.
Yes. And,
so there been some very light rain a few minutes ago, not to in any way interrupt the match. This time is driven out to extra cover. The over comes to an end. So that's a pretty good over by Ramnath. And at the end of it, Clove challengers there 21 for 2 after 3.
yes, and there is those little bit of hazy sunshine just looking to sweep across the arena. Of course, when you look on the field, you can now begin to see the shadows of the players as they move around. But that's a good sign, a sign that probably we'll have a bit of sunshine in the not too distant future. The flags, of course, the advertising banners are all fluttering on one side of the field, really. And certainly, as you said, we hope for very good weather, and we hope for probably a very good and close encounter in this one. Both teams enjoying contrasting fortunes.
So Dana George will prepare to move into bowl to Samuel Charles, who is 6 of 6. There he is. Charles gets a rising deliveries right on top of it and pushes it out square of the wicket on the offside. Just to a squarish cover. We're into over number 4 now. It's rather hazy condition. The wind has picked up. Seems to be blowing from a south easterly direction. Pushed up to mid-wicket. And Samuel Charles gets another single. So he's now moved on to 6.
So Darren Ned has been relatively quiet this morning. He has faced what? 8 deliveries for 6 runs. Something you don't really associate with Darren Ned.
Yeah, so just an apology there. It's Charles who is now taking strike. He gets inside and whips that nicely down to backward square. That's 4 runs. Love that. That was short, and he got up on one leg and just helped it on its way right around the waistline and played it in the approved manner. Oh boy, it's just one of those lovely shots that you just got to admire. Well played, Charles. He's gone into the double figures now. He's got to 10. So many of these players play that shot so well on one leg. This time he is pulling, not where he really wanted to hit the ball, but got it down to Dylan Douglas. They get a single. So Dana George trying to keep this tight. 1 for 14. Again, we see wickets falling early in the first and second over. It's been a trend in the tournament so far. This time he is pulling down to the deep mid-wicket boundary. They will come back for the second run. And they get it quite comfortably in the end. Short rising delivery on top of it and pulled it nicely. Didn't try to hit it too hard.
This may finally probably get Darren Ned going. He's on 8 from 9.
Yes, early days still. These are two important batsmen. They've got to remain there. It's important. Big slashing attempted drive by the delivery that was pitched outside the off stump, but then still went further away. And I think Ned is still standing there as if to say, dare me, umpire Peters, that should have been a wide. So the overs come to an end. It's 4 overs gone. And Clove challengers batting first. They're 29 for 2.
Yes, 29 for 2. And the Blasters will be very happy, I think, with the way things have gone after 4 overs, 29 for 2. But I think the fact that Darren Ned is still there, Samuel Charles is still there, this Clove team do have the resources and the power to move on very quickly. And with the batters that it has in their weaponry, in the armory, they can certainly still go on to post totals well over 100, 120. It is left to be seen.
Well, there are some international matches that will start tomorrow. God's willing, we'll tell you about them. Outside the off stump, onto the back foot and front foot rather, and slashed down to the sweeper position. Gets a single. So the West Indies playing against Ireland tomorrow. Match begins at 5:45. One international, and England women will be coming up against the West Indies women tomorrow also. But a little later on in the day, that'll be at 1:30. And Zimbabwe against England in a test match. So those are 3 international matches that would be on tomorrow. God's willing. Quite a bit of cricket that you'd have to follow, Justin.
And of course, the IPL is back up and running.
Nice shot, just driven up to long off. Coming forward rather comfortably, easily.
The IPL too does hold some interest to us. A few of our West Indian players are plying their trades down there.
Yeah, that's right. But I think it's about time some other West Indian players outside, of course, of the Shea Hopes and the Narayan and Hetma, and these other players should try and find the way into an IPL team. It's important for the development of the skill and also to make a living, a good living too.
Very decent living.
He's coming forward and lifts that ball down to deep mid-wicket. They get a single. So the run's not coming in boundaries. Still slow going, just over 7 runs per over is the run rate. They need to get that up. It's important. And don't wait too deep into the innings to put your foot on the pedal. Here is Narayan, who is driven back past him, and they get a single. So Ned and Charles goes trying to do a bit of repair work here. And you could understand that, Justin, because they lost 2 quick wickets early.
But I also think that the bowlers have bowled in very good areas and has certainly restricted the batter's ability to break free. So it doesn't matter the format, there is always a need and there is always a place for bowling and bowling good deliveries. And we haven't seen a lot of extras as we have seen in some matches earlier where many as 5 or 6 extras in 1 over.
Narayan to Ned, pulls that down to long on. Is it going to go all the way? It does. 4 runs. Well, that really took off after pitching, after hitting the ground. It was airborne for maybe about 25 yards. But after it touched down, it just seemed to scurry off the turf and went very quickly down to long on for 4. The fielder is still sprawled down there. I hope he hasn't injured himself. Maybe more embarrassed than anything else that that ball went through.
Yes, and it did get there though, and put in the dive and just couldn't pull it back.
That's Dylan Douglas down there, it seems, but he seemed to be okay. 5 overs gone, 38 for 2, with Ned not out 14 and Charles not out 14. So both batsmen are on 14. And it'll be really nice, Justin, to see maybe a total of about 100 thereabout, and give the Belief Blaster a bit of a challenge. The sun has come out quite gloriously now, in contrast to the entire day yesterday, and also for the first part of this morning. It really is wonderfully bright.
But we have a new bowler. He's coming left from around 2.
Aided by breeze. The breeze has been all about this morning. This hasn't been a constant direction. It's just been inconsistent. Now it seems to be blowing from south east to northwest.
How is it? I don't know. You
Not east, beg your pardon.
I thought so. You know that if you're probably facing it towards the north, and if it's going from your left hand to your right hand, I guess that's the way we figure this thing out. Or at least try to figure it out. First, we have to determine where is north and where is south.
Well, we're facing north, aren't we? Delivery that is push for a single.
I don't know of many pitches, Pastor, in Grenada, at least I have to talk about, that actually runs from east to west. For the most part, they do run from north to south.
Yes, I did have a discussion with about that. Delivery that is pulled down to the deep mid-wicket. They will come back for the second. The return comes to the bowler's end and they get 2. 2 comfortable runs. Yeah, things have changed, but in the past, years ago, there were in fact some pitches that ran from east to west. I remember back then, Marion Recreation Ground, the pitch did run from east to west. That I remember.
I think it still do.
They still do? Yeah, but back then it was east to west in the old ground cut down to backward point, 4 runs. Outside the off stump, onto the back foot he went. And the ball took more the outer portion of the bat and went down to backward point for 4. So a very important boundary there struck. Maybe went much finer than anticipated by Ned, but equally important result, and got it to where he wanted it, down to the boundary for 4. Flash again to Ned, and Ned is onto the back foot, and he pulls that. That's a carry hit maximum. Fine shot. Rocked on the back foot, it was short. And he launched into a severe pull over mid-wicket for a carry power hit maximum.
Yeah, so back-to-back 4 and 6, that will certainly push the run rate further up. In fact, they're up to 9 now, so that's how quickly things can change. After just lumbering along at 7s, now they're scoring at 9, projected score of 90, and one expects that will increase as we come to the back end of the innings.
Hits that in the air. Will the catch be taken? Yes, the catch taken. Down by Kieran Kotoy, down there at the straightish mid-wicket boundary. And so they've lost another wicket in Darren Ned goes caught down at mid-wicket. And the Clove challengers, just when we thought maybe they'd keep accelerating and pushing on, they've lost a vital wicket in Darren Ned.
Yes. And what we will get is opportunities now for the lower middle order who haven't had a lot of contributions so far for the Clove challengers. The top order has done quite a bit of the work, and they now will have opportunities now to really push on and to show what they're made of.
Yeah, you're right. So Ned going for 26 of 16. A good knock, not a cavalier kind. So out goes Ned, in comes Javed Hazard. Join Charles, who is on 15. Blash has now picked up 1 for 13. He obviously was looking to clear Kotoy down at wideish straight, deep mid-wicket.
Of course, as he did previously, no intention of looking to keep it down. Probably this one was just a little bit fuller in length, not as short as the previous delivery.
Pulls. Doesn't make the kind of contact, but it goes behind the keeper and runs down to the boundary, and they get 2. Just waited to see whether the umpire signal. No, he didn't get genuine on the edge onto that one. So Hazard is off the mark immediately. 6 overs gone. It's 53 for 3. Blanche, 1 for 15. So he's been rather expensive, but has picked up a very important wicket.
Yeah, certainly he has. A very important wicket, Darren Ned. He's right up there in terms of run scoring. Has some 22 sixes in the tournament so far coming off his bat. So really, this is someone that you want to be out. If you're a Bayleaf Blaster fan, you don't want him to be there too long. And Blash has removed him.
Yeah, that was a very important blow. Blash could be very happy that a big hitting batsman has been dislodged. He was responsible for that.
And the Bayleaf Blasters will certainly be happy. They want to seize the advantage here now just to make sure that they keep that score under 100.
Is it going to be Narain back? Yes, Narain will move in to bowl to Charles. Charles is pushing up on the onside. Now they've hustled for 1. Thought about the second, but Douglas came in very quickly from a wideish long on, straightish mid-wicket preferably. and prevented the batsman from going for the second. But there was intent about going back for the second, I think quite rightly. Decided against it in the end.
Yeah, the fielding will have to be on point.
That one hit down to the mid-wicket area and, long on area, and they get a single. Airborne for some time.
I think what Douglas did there really well was to cover the ground. He was at most straightest mid-wicket, but he moved across really quickly, and the batters really could not have gotten to.
Narayan, that goes down to fine leg. They will come back for the second. We'll wait to see what the umpire says. Well, it doesn't make any signal, so he got maybe a bit of an inside edge onto that. But they got two. Over number 7 in progress. Charles is 18 of 14. Now that's not fast going, but from the context of the game, having lost a couple of quick wickets, I think is the reason why he's been a bit sedate. Hit down straight back past the bowler, and that goes all the way for 4. Slapped it. Did it? Oh, just a 1. I thought it did. Just a 1. Yeah, you're right. But he slapped it back past the bowler. Here is Narayan again. Really ungainly looking shot. He was advancing down the track, and Narayan saw him coming and pushed it into the leg stump.
Yeah, what Narayan has done well in this over is to keep the ball right up Yorker length. Most of the deliveries, the batters really had to try to keep them out and not really be able to look at for an attacking shot.
Yeah, he's such an experienced bowler. Well, that one went over the boundary line. Did he confirm that it was a 6?
Yeah, the umpire just signaled 6 runs.
Just signal. Now let's follow the line, the trajectory of the ball, and confirm that it has gone for 6. So that's a carriacou hit maximum. Hazard going big. So 7 overs have completed, 3 to go. And the Clove challengers, they're 64 for 3.
Yeah, challengers have been challenged this morning by the Bayleaf Blasters. The early wickets, the big wickets of Keto and Jackson, very early. Ned came in with Charles, and they tried to just stem the fall of wickets. They did a good job trying to repair, but they have not really accelerated. And so the Bayleaf Blasters, they will feel happy that that acceleration did not come.
Yeah, well, they've got 3 more legal overs to bowl. And with the current run rate being 9.14, the projected score is 91. They don't want the next 3 overs to go sequentially. They obviously would want it to go so that they could get up to about 110. But it's going to take a bit of asking to do that. Joseph will take over. Dylan Joseph in now and bowls. Delivery that was down the leg side that he just swiveled and helped on its way and went down to the long leg area. A backward square. Let's look at that shot again. We see the replay, but he was onto the back foot so quickly.
Yeah, that one really came off the bat very quickly. He was in position and just helping it around Samuel Charles. And definitely we've seen him with anything short. He has been severe on it. And Joseph just badly lining this one, and Charles not needing an invitation.
This time he is just tugging it and gets a single. He did pull that ball previously. He has a bit of hand reflection in him. If you take note of that, Rondell. This one is lifted. The catch taken. Oh, it's going to be called 6, I think. Or did he push it back inside? We certainly will have to see, and they will come back for what would be the second run. Now, there was no question as to whether he made some contact with the rope. I think he made some contact with the boundary, but did he send it back before contact was made? Let's look at it there. Oh, dear me. Hard to make it. Did he make contact?
No, I think he...
Okay, let's look at it again. The ball hit.
Yeah, I think he lost the balance there and had no choice but to throw it back in. As we look at it, he has it. Step back. He's right there. And looking at him, he's off balance.
Yes.
Foot inside still, not on the ropes as yet.
When will he release it?
Let's see as he releases. Foot goes down. Still inside.
Still has the ball. So he takes the catch. But there he is so close and then sends it back.
So it's pretty safe. But he should have held on to that as a catch. I think the step back is what really threw him off. He needed to set himself very early so that he remains within 6 signaled by the umpire.
Yes, I won't be surprised really that he may have just touched the rope. I think he was just too close for comfort. But in the modern day, you take it, you throw it up, skip over, and then come back. And so it's also important, Rondell, that you have a very good idea as to where you are. That awareness of your body position, how close you are to the rope, to the boundary, that is critically important. Well, that yielded 6.
Yes.
Welcome by the Clove challengers.
Yeah, the challengers will be happy with that power hit there, the carry power hit. And they'll be looking for quite a few more.
Maybe a bit disappointed with that last shot, which probably felt should have hit to the boundary. They got a single though.
Who won't buy in the game? Who won't buy in the game? Who won't buy in the game?
So Charles has gone to 24 of 17. He's begun to moto on here. Short delivery. Pull just behind square on the leg side. They get a single.
I think the fielder did really well there to stop this one.
Because if he didn't, he might well have gone all the way.
Certainly.
Yes, there is a fielder down on the deep square boundary, but he would have had quite a bit of tasking running across to pull that back.
Over.
Advancing down the track was Hazard. So that completes the over. Some 8 overs gone. Hazard 16. Charles is 25. And after some 8 overs, Clove challengers, they're 77 for 3.
Yeah, challengers just trying to get close to the 100 mark. I think the Bailiff Blasters, they will be happy with their job so far. Walcott may just feel a bit perturbed there, not taking in that catch. But outside of that, I think they've done really well to back up their decision to field first. And they want to close off these next 2 overs really well.
Yeah, just 2 overs to go. And there are 2 crucial overs. Of course, Bay Leaf Blasters will be trying to stem whatever tide of runs there may be. And maybe if they get 20 of the last 2, Blasters would feel happy about it. Here is Alexander with his first over that he looks to pull. Doesn't make contact. The ball goes out on the onside, and the bowler on his follow-through runs very quickly, but couldn't prevent the batsman from crossing for the single.
I really like the look of Alexander. He uses his height well. He has a decent bit of pace behind him. And bowling in this part of the innings, more of what we call the death overs, he does a really good job.
Nice, easy approach to the wicket.
Ball
him. Beautiful delivery. He was coming, looking forward to drive. Hazard might have played over and around the ball. And that leg stump seemed to be pushed back, violently pushed back. And so Hazard goes. Another wicket has fallen. And that was a good delivery by Alexander. Yeah, there was a bit of inward movement and crashed into the middle and leg stump.
Yeah, and that's the deception of Alexander. He bowls rather quickly. If you're not watchful as a batter, you get knocked over, as Hazard has been knocked over. And so, again, the Bay Leaf Blasters, they will be happy. Clove challengers, on the other hand, they may begin to worry that they need to at least post maybe 100 in order to really be competitive in this one.
Yeah, but that was a fine delivery. It really was a fine delivery. It was a quick delivery. And right up, looking to swing across the line there was Hazard. Comprehensively bowled. Good delivery. Nice little lateral movement. Ball may have pitched somewhere around the off stump, but came back in and struck the middle and leg stumps. Both challengers losing another wicket. They're now 78 for 4. Kurt Murray comes out to join Charles, and this is where Charles got to take over, Randall.
Yeah, he certainly needs to take over. He's been there from the onset. I think he knows exactly what is happening out in the middle. And so he wants to be on strike and try to see how he can belt it around.
Alexander to Murray, who lifts that down to the deep backward square area. They're going to come back for the second. No, they decide against it. A bit disappointed there. I really think that there should have been a greater effort running the first one quickly and then seeking opportunity for the second. But Charles didn't seem to be necessarily interested in the second.
I think Charles wants to take the responsibility to really get the momentum into the next, this over and the next.
Yeah, I think he has capitalized on that one. It was short, rocked onto the back foot and pulled it for a carriacou hit maximum over mid-wicket.
Yeah, that was a really good, powerful shot from Charles. He's been there. He's seen the ball. Alexander again going short. And so far, we've seen Charles be very severe on anything that is pitched short.
Yeah, he really belted that one over mid-wicket. Yeah. And he's pulling again. How far will this go? Cut off down on the deep mid-wicket boundary. They will come back for the second run quite comfortably. They get 2.
Yeah, very important for Charles. He's striking well, 34 of 21. And so it means that he has a really good strike rate behind him here now.
He's got to utilize. This is a final delivery in over number 9. Will he go for a single to farm the strike? Or will he go for a boundary? Let's see. Here is Alexander Wood moving to bowl to Charles. Charles lives that in the air. Somebody's going around. Is it Narayan? Will the catch be taken? Taken. So Charles got to go. Ball taken down there on the deep mid-wicket boundary. went onto the back foot, got it very steep in the air, but not with the power that he expected. And Douglas moving around, pouched it very well. He's got good, safe pair of hands. And so he goes, but could feel that he played a pretty good inning. So he cut Douglas of the bowling of Alexander. And I would say that he's done a pretty decent job.
Yeah, Charles has really batted well. He's tried to steer the innings as much as he can. Took responsibility when he needed it. One may just thought that he could have just played that one for a single and maybe look to capitalize on the other over. He had a different mindset. He wants to capitalize on everything, and so he went for the shot. Wasn't really short enough. I think he was really outfoxed there.
So this is the final over coming up. 87. Can they get up to the 100 mark? The run rate 9.67. They want to get that just above 10 maybe. Delivery tugged from outside the off stump. They get a single as Douglas comes from the long on position and sends the return to the bowler's end. So good first ball by Walcott. Brings Kurt Murray into strike.
So it should be Hippolyte on strike now. They went for one. So it's not reflected as yet, but
We'll come back for the second run. Ball hit down to mid-wicket. So they need at least 12, 13 from this or more just to get them up to that 100 target, that 100 figure. Triple digit always psychologically looks bigger than double digit.
yeah, quite agree with you there.
Well, that's a nice hit. Oh, it's gone all over, all the way down over the long on boundary. That was hit clean, and it was airborne for quite some time. Fine shot, and that's gone for a carry power hit maximum. Great effort down there to pull off what would have been a spectacular catch, but that was a very, very good hit indeed by Hippolyte. It's gone to 8 of 2, 96 for 5. Spared outside the off stump, and they will also go for a single. The umpire has just confirmed that that was too wide. It's a wide. So it's now 98 for 5. 3 legal deliveries remaining.
These three deliveries will really have to be spot on if you're a Bailey Blaster supporter. Clove Challenger, on the other hand, would want to see it dispatched.
Here's Walcott. Well, wide signal by the umpire. Now you don't want to do that at this stage, or no stage at all. But when you're down to the last over, you want to try to be as economical as possible. But sometimes the intention is just to spray it a little wide and ask the batsman to fetch it. Here he is once more. And he's driven up to long off and gets an easy single. So the 100 has come up of 9.4 overs. And a ripple of applause acknowledging the 100 milestone. Hippolyte now comes into strike.
Walcott will want to close off this over really nicely. He's looking for dot balls.
Push the ball down to mid-off. They're going to come back for the second. They've got to hurry. The return comes into the non-striker's end. And they get there. Just thought that the fielder down there was a little tardy. Should have been a bit more aggressive, attack the ball and hold the return back. Saw that the movement was not as sharp as it should have been, so they captured 2. Full toss. Hit down to the mid-wicket area. They will come back for the second. Are they going to come for the third? They're going for the third. The return is going to come in. And they're going to go for the fourth. Will they go for the fourth? Let's see whether there'll be a run out here. And did they get there, Rondell? What do you make of it?
The umpire is signaling out. Direct hit.
Oh, it was direct. So, well, they wanted to. It would have been the first time that there would be an all-4 run. And so that's where it all begun. There was a bit of injury there. Was it Kotoy on the ground?
Yeah, Kotoy just...
Yes. So they're taking the opportunity to run for as many as possible. And in the end, they got 3.
Yeah, certainly not the sort of end the Bay Leaf Blasters would have liked. Kotoy just seemed to have injured himself there. The Clove Challengers, though, they will be happy. They have crossed the 100 mark. And so it does give them something to work with. And the Bay Leaf Blasters will have to come out blasting very early and see if they can really get this 103 that has been posted. Well, 102 posted. They need 103 to win.
Yes, 103 to win of exactly 10 at a run rate of 10.37. Darren Hippolyte not out 10 of 3. Nice little cameo at the back end. Kurt Murray 3 of 3. And Bay Leaf Blasters, what do you think, Ronald? Might just fancy themselves as in with a chance. I think anytime you're up to just about 102, the team batting second should be in with a chance.
Certainly, they will feel that they're in with a chance, the Bay Leaf Blasters. What has to happen, the match will have to be set up very early by the openers. Once they can maximize the power play, get at least 30, 35, I think that would set them really well in terms of chasing.
In terms of the bowling, well, Ramnath picked up 1. Tana George also had 1. 1 for 16, 1 for 13 was Ramnath. And Calvin Blash, 1 for 15. There was 2 wicket for Dante Alexander, 2 for 10 of 1. So it's been a pretty good bowling display. The most expensive being Dwayne Walcott, who had none for 15 in that final over. So by and large, I think the Bay Leaf Blasters bowlers can feel comfortably, can feel very happy about their overall bowling performance. Charles batted well for 34 of 22, strike rate of 154, and then there was a lovely innings of 26 of 17 by Darren Ned before he was caught by Kieran Kotoy of the bowling of Blash. 16 to Javed Hazard before he was bowled by Alexander. Those were the main contributors, with Murray not out 3 and Hippolyte not out 10. So total being 102 for 5, 102 for 5, and the Bay Leaf Blasters will look closely at that total and will say to themselves, hey, we can do this. So, of course, they'll go back there. They'll need to start positive. And let's give us a little break here, and we'll be back for the run chase. And welcome back here at the Lassages playing field, where Clove Challengers and Bayleaf Blasters, they're locked in battle. Clove Challengers 105, 106 for victory. Here is the first delivery that is pushed out, just square of the wicket on the offside, and gets a comfortable single. So Kotai, who did have a bit of an injury, mishap on the field, but I think he is comfortable enough to open the batting here, because this is an important match. We will Benjamin take strike now. Here's Redhead. Ball slanting down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. Redhead is a big man. Just unfortunately that he has been plagued with injury over the years, but there's no question about his passion for the sport.
Yeah, he does have that passion, that drive. He's looking to rebound now.
Ball tugged. I think that may have just come on to him a little faster than anticipated.
Yeah, Redhead has the ability to generate some decent pace. Quite a smooth, simple run-up. It's a strong lad.
He's going to move into bowl to Kotoy now for the first time. And gets a single. Just pushed out on the onside. So it's a quiet start by Bayleaf Blasters here.
Yeah, this pair will need to stay there and really give the innings some impetus if they're really going to challenge this 105.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Clove Challengers would want to keep that as tight as possible. That one was hit back past the bowler. It's going to be a challenge close to the boundary, pull back just inside. And they go, oh, I think he might be run out here. Well. So they've lost their first wicket via the run out route. We'll certainly look at that again.
Yeah, Benjamin caught napping there. Really wasn't businesslike enough. He needed to run through.
So there it was, hit back past the bowler, pull back just inside. Now let's take it from this vantage point. Good work. Still didn't guess the replay doesn't quite give us what we want, but so Benjamin goes via the run-out route, and Micah Narain, the captain, who's had to do this so often in his career, come just to restore things. And he has done it quite masterly. All right, so let's see whether we can finally follow the line of play. Pull back just inside. Well, still didn't get it. Micah Narayan has taken the leg stump guard. And it will be Redhead. This is the final delivery in this over. We see he's in and bowls to Narayan. Narayan comes inside the line and just looks to turn it behind square. Succeed in doing that. I think there's just one more delivery to go. So it's a good start by Bayleaf Blasters, and a pretty good start here by Nicholas Redhead.
Yeah, Redhead starting well, just looking to build that pressure. Batters can't really get him away. He's been on good line, good length so far.
Kotoy gets in behind that one, turns it down to backward square, and picks up an easy single. So the first over completed, and a quiet one for Clove challengers. Bayleaf Blasters 6 for 1. They're going after a total of 136.
106, yeah, certainly. They will have to devise a plan, the Bayleaf Blasters. So far, the Clove challengers, they've started really nicely, picking up a wicket in the first over. So that trend continues. It didn't come by the bowler, but it came via the run-out route. So the Blasters will need to rebuild quickly and see how they can blast their way to that next 100 runs that is needed.
Yeah, we did talk about how wickets have fallen in the first couple of overs with alarming regularity, and the sequence continues. So here's the second over. Kotoy will be taking strike. We're yet to see a real blistering innings from him.
Yeah, really haven't seen him. We know his ability to hit the ball. He's a good, strong, powerful lad, but the going has been rather tough for him.
Yeah, well, is this going to be his day?
I think the Bayleaf Blasters fans will really hope that today is his day. Maybe just needs to spend a time in the wicket.
Aston Jackson is in. Turn that neatly down to backward square. And it's picked up down there by Murray. They get one. So Narayan, who has marshaled his teams so well over the years, an old veteran, and I don't say old meaning old, but just from the context of experience. Jackson to Narayan, down the leg side, wide, confirmed by the umpire. You've got to be so tidy in playing this version of the game. It's the shortest version, T10. So you'd want to be very careful not to be cumbered with extras. This time he turns it down to backward square and gets a comfortable single. That's Narayan, so he's off the mark. What is it? Off the pad, sorry. Thank you so much. Didn't see the umpire touching his thigh. And Justin Hector in the commentary booth tapped it and showed me, so that confirmed. Justin Hector, of course, who did a bit of fast bowling. Not a great batsman, I must admit. But bowled a stiff ball and an ardent follower of the game with a great memory.
Well, he will happy to be out there representing the Clove, not the Bayleaf, because they need some batting right now.
Sure, right. Outside the arm stump, driving. And we'll get a single. The umpire signal a wide. So they have not been too disciplined. I think we've got, about 3 wides already in the innings. And you've got to remember, Ron, there's always an extra ball, and the wide is bowled.
Yes, given the opportunity for the batter to maybe get a boundary. So they need to really restrict this. Again, as a fast bowler, you want to conserve the energy, make sure the balls count.
Yeah, it is expected to have wides in these versions. Yes, but as minimal as possible when bowling. It's very important. Driven well through mid-on, and that's gone for 4. Beautiful shot. He just drove the ball through the line and slightly on the up. And it went nicely back past the bowler and straight as ever. And the mid-on fielder wasn't able to come around and cut that off. That was a fine shot.
Yeah, good shot there by Narayan. Narayan has had a decent 48 in this competition so far, his highest total.
Way outside the off stump, and ball seemed to, after touching down on the seam, just had some lateral movement, like a way swinger. Another wide confirmed by the umpire. We're in over number 2. So extras contributing here. Blasters getting some extra runs. Oh, that was close. Chance for a cotton bowl. The bowler is follow through. Narayan was looking to pull that maybe somewhere through mid-wicket, didn't cue it all that well. So the over comes to an end. And after 2 overs, Bayleaf Blasters, they're 17 for 1.
Yeah, needs to get a move on here, the Bayleaf Blasters. They have not really maximized the power play as yet. Clove challengers, though, giving away a few extras. They've been pretty tight.
Yeah, they need 89. Bayleaf Blasters. And they've got just 48 deliveries to get there, with the run rate required being 11.13. Certainly within reach. Pulls well, down to the boundary. That gone for a maximum. Carry power hit maximum. Shot by Redhead, onto the back foot he went. And Kotoy lifted that nicely. Didn't in any way take away from his shape. He knew exactly where he wanted to hit it. And it resulted with a wonderful shot over the boundary line for 6.
Yeah, the Bayleaf Blasters will need Kotoy to continue in this vein of form.
Here he is again. Kotoy looking to drive, the left hand coming off the bat in the process. Just demonstrating posthumously as to what he should have done with that. Maybe try to hit it straighter.
What I can tell you there is that that was a really well-disguised slow ball from Redhead. Kotoy really didn't pick it up.
It's something that he needs to do a bit more, I dare say. Redhead, short delivery onto the back foot and punches that through the offside for 4.
Yeah, again, Redhead trying the slower delivery. This time it was a bit fuller. And so not really deceiving Kotoy there, but he was equal to it. And brings up a much-needed boundary for the Bayleaf Blasters.
Yeah, so 2 boundaries already hit in this over. Ten runs already gone. We're in the middle of over number 3. Pulled by Redhead. Here he is to Kotoy, who is clipping that down to the fine leg area, and it's going to go for 4. Bad delivery outside the leg stump. Got inside the line and clipped it. And though there was a diving effort on the part of Charles, the keeper, but his dive was despairing and futile as the ball scurried over the boundary line. So 4 more. This is turning out to be a very expensive over here by Redhead. He's done for 20 into his second. He still got 2 legal deliveries to be bowled.
That's how quickly things can change.
You're right. Good comeback delivery. And he pushed back on the onside bowler, picking up on his follow through.
Right here, just under a bit of pressure, wants to close off this over with possibly a dot ball. Kotoy, on the other hand, may be having different thoughts. Boundary here, you'll see that it wasn't a bad power play. You got the run rate just about what is needed.
Redhead with massive shoulders, burly figure. Kotoy. Good delivery. Well bowled. Delivery right around the waist area. Pushed in front on the offside. Over coming to an end. So Bailey Blasters at the end of 31 for 1. With the run rate being 10.71. And I think on course here, Ronald, to maybe use wisdom in getting the next 75 runs. Afternoon to Justin Hector. Rondell just left me unannounced.
Sneaked out.
Yeah.
We do sometimes. 31 for 1 after 3. So even Stevens, we may say. Again, it takes just as probably a single over, one big over, and you're back in contention. Or you add 2 more wickets so that it's a totally different look to things. But I have a feeling this one will go down to the wire.
Here is Narayan, who gets inside the line and pulls that through the mid-wicket area, and that's gone for 4.
Yeah, it's a good shot by Narayan. It was short, it was slanted into the body, and he just helped it on its way basically over the mid-wicket. 1, 2, probably 3 bounces into the boundary for 4. So we need a lot more of that, and we'll probably see much more of that from Narayan. Yeah.
Sheldon Joseph brought in for his first over, greeted with a boundary. Good shot by the veteran Joseph again to Narayan, who gets inside the line, turns it behind square on the left side and picks up a comfortable single. So Narayan, who has a top score of 48 in the tournament, would use his skill and experience here. He's batting well. 9 of 6. Not would depend on Kotoy, who is 18 of 12. Joseph would move in. Stopped by Kotoy. I think he's not happy with something behind the bowler's arm. And that's right. If there's movement behind the bowler's arm, it's always better to pull out of your stance. Get everything cleared out of the way. Here's Joseph to Kotoy. Onto the back foot. Turns the ball neatly with great wrist work out to mid-wicket and gets a comfortable single. Turns the strike over as Narayan comes in. He's 9 of 6. And it's good to see that Kotoy is not trying to belt everything, but he's rather selective in this innings, picking the right balls to be aggressive to. Narayan pulls that down to backward square, 4 runs.
Under no ball.
Short, saw it short enough, and he went quickly onto the back foot and just swiveled, pulled it nicely to backward square. No ball, so this is going to be a free hit here. One of the cardinal felonies of bowlers when they bowl the no ball, primarily overstepping. Narayan is up and over and goes. Did it go all the way? It seems so. Just wait for the umpire to signal. Yes, it's a carry power hit maximum. Went onto the back foot and he played that very well. He didn't want that ball to go on the ground at all. He wanted to get it over the boundary line and he did so.
Well, an attempted slower ball by Joseph there, looking to just change up the pace after being hit for 4, but Narayan was equal to it.
Ooh, that was a short rising one. The keeper didn't get it, Charles, and it's gone all the way.
4 byes.
Must have just taken Charles by surprise. Short, swift delivery, ponged it in. And it went very quickly. Bongsa. Yeah, he ponged that one in. And Charles had to jump, take off to pull it down, but couldn't do so. Maybe came through quicker than expected, and there was quite a bit of height attached to it too. This time, Narayan tucks the ball through mid-wicket and gets a single. So this is just completed. Yeah, the over just been completed. Some 23 runs coming off that over, and it's been a very healthy one for Bailey Blasters.
Indeed.
54 for 1.
Indeed, and I think Bailey's Blasters will probably feel a little bit more comfortable now. I think a win for them today will do them a world of good, though I don't think they can really qualify again, but they can well turn out to be a giant killer. And as we saw the 20 other runs in this over, and certainly the Bailey Blasters has taken the ascendancy, you would feel. 53 for 1 at the end of 4.
So they need another 53 in 6 overs to get there. And in this modern cricket, you should be able to do that. Just the 1 wicket has fallen, so they've got wickets intact.
Of course, and good McBuster to the 4 byes. Or is that fickle little indication from the bowler that it probably should maybe take an extra step back, because it will there'll be more effort into this one, or probably to just go up a step because it will be a slower ball. All these little indicators that bowler, wicketkeeper communication.
That's important. And every bowler should have his own mode of communication with his keeper. So the keeper can know what he intends to do and can make certain preparations, although it doesn't always go as planned. Rogers. Ball and hits that.
All the way.
Beautiful shot. Oh, I think it was so wonderful. When Katoy hit the shot, he just backed away immediately, knowing that he had hit it so well. And that went over the deep long on area. That went for 6. That was a lovely shot. Really lovely. There was a sweet sound of willow against leather. Look how he hit that. And once he hit it, it went over the long on area, and he just knew that it was going to be 6. This time he drives up to extra cover and gets a single. Good sensible cricket here, good batting. He's got to 26 of 15. Narayan, who has been equally effective, is 21 of 11. Tucks that ball down to mid-wicket. Thought about a single, then decided, thought about about 2 runs, and then decided against it. Over number 5 in process. Katoy. Here is Rogers. Bowls. Peel for a stumping. Yeah, Charles was quick to dislodge the bail. Umpire said, not out. They'll just place the bails back into the grooves.
$62 for 1. 4.5 overs, just one delivery remaining. It's going at a rate of 12.83.
Full toss. Drag down to long on. And brings net off the boundary. They get a single. So 5 overs gone. We're at the halfway stage now. And the total 63 for 1 Bailey Blasters. It means therefore that the Blasters need a further 43 runs in 30 deliveries. That equation suggests that it's not a hard task.
It should not be, we should say, a hard task. Of course, anything can happen in cricket. Micah Narayan is on 22 from 12. Kotoy is on, Kieran Kotoy is on 27 from 17. And certainly, it's rather refreshing, Pastor, to see those players when they, come into the party. Of course, they are the top players, basically. And of course, lots have been said about those players, and one really enjoys or expect, and them to do something special from time to time. It's good to see that from time to time they are certainly producing something of what they're capable of.
Sure, right. The experienced players got to lead from the front. Tiran Hippolyte will bowl from the far end. And he's going to bowl to Kotoy, who's 27 of 17. Here he is. Outside the offside, looking to cut that through. The offside doesn't make contact. It's Kotoy. One of those players who always make some sort of adjustment to the pad when getting ready to face the delivery.
Oh, yes, we're ball minute, come in out.
Delivery tugged from outside the offside down to long on and gets a single. So Fletcher does tap both pads, then goes up to, then switches the bat from one hand to the other. Sometimes touches the elbow, goes up to the shirt sleeve, pulls away at it, then to the cap, and goes into his batting stance. Narayan takes that from outside the leg stump and swings that down to backward square, and that's gone for 4.
Smart shot there by Narayan. The mid-wicket, in fact, was in the backward square fielder was inside the circle, and all he had to do was to clear him. And he did just that and got it away for 4. Safe shot in the end. Very smart, intelligent batting there by Narayan. He goes to 26. 68 for 1. And get the feeling that they're doing it rather easily now.
Yes, that was well hit. How important it is to capitalize on bat deliveries. The good players do that. Shot onto the back foot, pulls it, diving effort down at the deep backward square area, and the umpire is going to signal what?
Maximum, I think it would have gone all the way. They filled out on the deep mid-wicket boundary. Really, yes, they make a valiant effort, but couldn't pull it in.
So a carry power hit maximum. Narayan is really motoring on now. He's gone to 32 of 15. Hippolyte to Narayan once more off the back foot. And cut. And gone. Cut by Redhead. Outside the off stump. Didn't get on top of that one. And let's see it again. didn't get on top, took more the outer portion of the bat. The catch taken. And so Narayanas played a fine knock here. And Bailey Blasters, well, they've lost another wicket, but they're on course here. 6 overs gone, 74 for 2.
Yeah, rather safe catch there by Redhead. Down on both knees, almost in supplication, I do. Pastor, as a pastor, you would best describe that as a catch taken in supplication. It's down on both knees and ensure that it came into the hand and it tucked it in safely. But 74 for 2, it means that the Bailey Blasters basically has done the hard work, and it's just a matter of taking it home from here. And it's probably the best we have seen them batting in the tournament so far.
I agree with you. They look pretty good today. They require some 32 runs of exactly 4 overs. And we don't see a high degree of difficulty in they going over the victory line. It's been a good performance, really good performance so far. It's not over. Don't forget, Qatar is still there. He's 28 of 19 and has batted very well indeed. As if he's saying today has got to be my day.
Yeah. But with these players, you will find they would have more good days than bad days. Of course, Douglas, who has done pretty well too in the tournament, he has come in now. So, and I think all of that has come, Pastor, on the back of, ensuring that they haven't lost too many wickets, but that one goes high, and there would be a chance for someone out there, and drops it. Well. Looked like Jackson coming around. It went high, it went down towards backward of square, he came around, he did all the hard work. Got there, but couldn't hold on.
Yeah, it's one of those catches that should have been taken.
Yeah.
I think he looked rather crestfallen when that ball spilled out from his hands after hitting the ground. And it's not, it's always a bad feeling when a fielder drops a catch. Times feels as if the earth could open up and just swallow you for a little while, at least temporarily.
Yes. Oh. Well, there's quickly a little injury there to Dylan Douglas, trying to just probably paddle one around on the leg side. The ball coming off the top edge of the bat and diverting onto his what could well be his face. So the concern of all the players out there. It's never a nice thing to see any batter or any player getting hurt. What do you make of it, Pastor?
Yeah, but the other good thing about it really is to see that there are 5 of the 6 of the opposing players going and showing concern. I just wondered whether the ball may not have also cannoned onto the... You get the impression that it might have just touched the leg stump?
No,
We'd like to see it didn't.
I don't think it did. I don't know if he came off the boot and back up into his face or the top of the bat, but there may be a little abrasion or a little cut there.
Perhaps.
But
we'd like to see that again, though. I hope that our producers could just go that over for us.
Say it's never a good thing to see players get hurt. We'll look at it again. Yes, from the top of the body, top edge of the bat, flush onto the face. I think he will be okay.
Yeah, quickly you could have seen him favoring, using the left hand to favor around the forehead area. But I think it's going to be all right, won't he?
Yes.
Maybe he'll have a bit of ice applied to it.
Well, it would have been so interesting had Qatar been taken a while ago by Joseph, and little mishap now with Dylan Douglas may well have changed the way things fortunes have gone for the Clove challengers. Cricket is such a funny sport that a little incident here and there can change the tide. just change the direction in which everything was going. And just when you seem so comfortable, things can just get a little bit tight for you again. So probably holding on to the nostril, more towards the nose, the nostril. We just chuck on the nostril, and he probably will have to leave the
Suspect he's
field.
going to go off.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, somewhere around the forehead.
Just look a little distraught. It's all part of the game, Bas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to play this game of cricket competitively and not expect to be injured at some point. If not by the hit of a ball, maybe going after a ball, or sometimes even in the official training of players, they get injured. But he's going to be all right. He's a strong man, is Douglas.
But that has brought the middle lower order now into the fray of things, and as you say, there probably could still be another twist.
You're sure right. But Qatar is still out there on 29. A lot would depend upon him. Still 31 needed. So Douglas comes back in and take the opportunity, maybe just to rest out the rest of the innings, if except really needed. There's Dante Alexander, gets his first delivery and plays it out on the offside to the left of the bowler, who goes around, picks up and goes back. Rogers none for 11 so far. Driven up to long on and gets a single. So he's off the mark. Brings Kotoy now into strike.
So Dante Alexander, he's out there. He's off the mark with one. Kotoy comes back into strike on 29. Lead now 30 from 20.
Rogers just missed his run. Would go all the way back. This has turned out to be quite a lovely day, in contrast to yesterday that was dark and gloomy.
Of course, the sun has come out. We've lost it a few times at intervals, just as the cloud rolled by, but for the most part, it has been a really good day.
That one hit down to long off and gets a single. So Kotoy is going to keep the strike, won't he?
Yes, he will, and the big frame of course, of Dante Alexander trying to get out of the way. Couldn't do so in time, and probably this just slowed the ball, the progress of the ball, and Kotoy probably just saying to him, well, you probably have denied me an extra run. And Dante indicating that I did try to get out of the way. You struck it too hard.
Yeah, too well.
Yeah, too well struck by you. 77 for 2. Of course, 7 overs gone. Still, the required rate hovering around 10. So we may still have, Pastor, some excitement.
Well, I think it's important to see how this over, the 8th over, how it goes. Will it be a tight one, or will the Blasters score big?
I think they would want to probably leave it for 13, 14 in the final over. I think that's what the challengers will probably want. Push it towards that, having to score 15 in the final over. I think the Bailey Blasters would understand the need to not leave so much for the last over. They would probably want to make inroads, not necessarily this over, which is the 8th, but of course by the 9th over, they would want to be in really total control.
Here is Ned in bowls. Kotoy just pushes the ball out on the upside and gets a single. Just looking at Kotoy, who was visibly not happy when his non-striker Alexander got the bat in the way while seeking to take a bit of evasive action. So he was not happy about that. He's probably saying, come on, man, you've got to be much more agile than that.
Well, even this was the last delivery. He got a run, and Alexander again had to scramble out of the way, and almost like he's been targeted by his partner. All guns aiming at me. I used to say, "Well, Kotoy, all guns aiming at me," and not only aiming, but you're taking shots at me.
It's not always easy to come out of the way, really.
Yeah. This guy hits the ball so hard these days.
That one hit down to the sweeper and gets a single. So Alexander has now gone on to 2. And it brings back Kotoy into strike, who is 31 of 23. I did say how important this over is going to be, Justin. The run rate required has now gone back up to 10. So it's really interesting, this. Kotoy looking to slash that maybe down to third man. Does make contact rather, or inadvertently going out on the onside, just where a leg gully would be, and they get a single. 80 now for 2 over number 8.
It was a good delivery by Darren Ned. It was right up, almost on off stump, and Kotoy looking to get it down to third man, maybe too full, too close, and having to come down on it rather late.
Oh, that's going to go. That's going to go into the boundary for 4. Let's look at the fielder coming off from the long off area. Really was traveling very quickly across and got the boot in the way and seemed to have sort of kicked it over the boundary line.
When he kicked it, in fact, it was like a beautiful right cross. But the player on the left wing didn't quite pick that up and didn't make too much of an attempt to get across to get to it. Well, you will look at it now. Yes, he got quite a bit of boot onto it. It went across, and in the end probably just tried in the first man on the other side. That's it. Well, Roger's saying, well, you could have come across and aid in fielding the ball. Whoa, and that's smashed through extra cover by Dante Alexander. He's a big man, big young man. He does have some power in his arms.
Yeah, and that was hit hard. That was hit monstrously hard. And it hit the retaining wall 100 yards away and bounced back about 15 yards into the field of play.
So we're now beginning to see how important that over was. 2 boundaries to end it.
You're right. And the run rate has been dropped now to
just 9.
Just 9 as being required. And the current run rate has jumped up to 11.
Yes,
See what a big over can do.
So Alexander has gone to 10. Important 10 in 6 deliveries. And Kotoy, who is on 32 from 24. Ned gone for 11 in this over. And he would think it's just a tad more expensive than he would have liked. But I still believe there could be a little scramble just at the end.
Fair enough. Don't forget, just 18 needed and 12 legal deliveries to get them. Jackson would now move into Kotoy. Kotoy lifts that in the air.
Maximum.
That's going and it's gone for a maximum. Carrier power hit shot. It was shot into the pitch and Kotoy rocked onto the back foot and heaved it. Big hit. Went all the way. 94 for 2. Over number 9. That 6 has reduced it. 12 now needed of 11 deliveries. And one shot could really change around an equation dramatically.
Well, even so, I think Kotoy will want to finish it probably in this over.
Kotoy pulled a little bit outside the leg stump and was looking maybe to give himself room. Bowler Jackson saw it, threw it wide. Was literally begging for the wide. Umpire said no. Here's Jackson again. Kotoy hits that in the air, dropped just before he got to the sweeper.
And a very silly run out. Wow, wow, wow. There was not two there, Dante Alexander. Well, I don't know what the hustle or what the hurry was about. Kotoy swung at it, it went high, it went down towards extra cover. The fielder came in pretty quickly in the end. He couldn't get to the catch, but did feel and had it back. And Dante for somehow was about 10 yards down the crease and couldn't make recover his ground.
It was absolutely unbelievable. And we don't really like to chide players and to suggest that it was poor cricket, but it certainly was. Just turned and was going, and you thought that there was sufficient time for him to assess, to realize that, of course, Kotoy was not coming back for the second, and it would have been very dangerous even if Kotoy was going to come back for the second. Sort of meandered out of his crease. The return came in, which was a good one. And so, run out.
And
Blasters now 95 for 3.
And we always say it's always important to stay within the processes, the game awareness. Of course, there is no need now for hustle. I think these runs can be had rather easily, almost in singles now you can pick it up. So there's no real need for it. But again, it's what the game is about, and strange things do happen. And but Douglas is back. This time he's helmeted.
11 of 9. That's the equation. And he pulls that behind square. It's going to be a chase here. Pull back just inside. They will get to rather comfortably. Short onto the back foot he went. And pulled it behind square. Good form shot. 9 don't need it off 8.
Get a feeling that Douglas may have just chanced his arm. And managed to get it behind square on the onside.
No ball.
And there will be a no ball, a free hit now. Probably in the context of the game, it doesn't really matter because, you know, the Bayleaf strikers, Bayleaf blasters are almost home and dry. And Douglas will benefit from a free hit. And one would think that he would certainly look to get as close to that total as he ought to. They're what? They need only 8 now. And our maximum will certainly take all the wind of the sail. How? And well, of course, it's a free hit. It's a no ball. But it was a good one. It was right up there and hitting the middle and off stump.
Yes. But can't be dismissed via the bold route when, of course, it's a free hit.
And Jackson there almost tempted to go up, not then remembering that he has transgressed.
You know, Justin, it's a very much a batsman game, you know.
So it will go to the last over. And still 8 required. But can there be some drama there?
8 runs required in 6 balls. Justin did talk about the possibility of it going down to the wire. 1 blow can do the trick. 2 blows can also do the trick. But a couple of dot balls or the demise of a batsman can also do the trick.
Yes.
This is a tricky situation with 8 runs needed off the last over.
Certainly we will have to chase the dogs away from the pigeons, or the cats away from the pigeons, because there could be a mad rush coming.
Sure, right.
You only to score 8, but add a wicket or 2 to that, as you said, and tension where really there should be no tension. And there is one of them, of the dot balls, and certainly yes, a batsman complaining because he missed out. And again the tension, just over 9, almost the rate still being close to 10, and just 8 required in 5 deliveries. 2 more dot balls and, well, the nerves will begin to jingle again.
Ned got to do something special
And
in
hits
the air.
That's gone
And that's
down
going to
too
go
long.
down
Off
to...
and gone.
Yeah, that's gone 6. Carry power hit maximum.
He's out. He's caught down there.
Oh, did he take the catch?
So Kotai has to go.
Oh, yeah, look, he's just turned his back. Now, it looked as though it had gone for the max. And, yeah, right inside. Collected it down there. That's to the far end of the ground. So we weren't able to pick that up so well. And the catch taken puts even more drama into this match here. The Clove challengers really fighting back here. It's 98 for 4 in over number 10. So the required run rate 12. And Bayleaf Blasters, well, they require some 8 runs, and they've got to get that in 4. That one looked as though it was going over the boundary line, but the fielder was down there and took the catch. And he steadied himself nicely. He's way almost under the trees in the darkness down there and took a good catch in the end.
Well, we've had a wicket, we've had a dot ball, 8 from 4.
Dana George.
Well, and to add to the tension, Darnett has just jogged through. Making it even a tenser moment.
Yes, didn't come through. Almost anticlimactic. Brings tension to the moment. Ned goes back, turns from the top of his mark, and makes his express run in, bowls.
But another dot ball. Well. What are we having here? That mad rush?
Wow. In the middle of the last over.
Still 8 needed. Only 3 balls.
3 balls to get. They must get a boundary.
They has to. Singles won't do it.
No. Ned. He hits that down to third man. They won't come back for the second as the return comes in from Redhead. They get 1. 7 required in 2. So we're talking about possibly 2 4s or a 6. But this one, Dylan Douglas will have to go out of the ground. Is he going to aim for the hills? Will he back cut? Will he squeeze it down to fine leg? Hit over extra cover.
Well,
It's
he's
in
gone
the
very,
air.
very high.
Somebody's going
Coming
on the
it.
rate.
The captain
The
himself,
catch will be
and he
taken.
takes it. Well, that's more trouble.
Catch taken. Cato took a very good catch because it took eternity, stayed so long in the air. Couple of fielders were seeking to converge. Darius Cato never took his eyes off the ball for a fleeting moment and took a well-judged catch. And that ball went so far up as if wanting to defy gravity. Gravity prevailed in the end, pulled it down, and Cato took a splendid catch. Bailey Blasters 95 for 5, and they require 7 runs of 1 ball.
Somebody may meet the commentators and say, but are you a prophet? You all have to be prophets. We did call it, Pastor. We said there could be a mad rush coming to the end. I've probably seen it somewhere. I can't say where, but it was coming. And you get a feeling now that with 1 ball to go and what? Still 7 to get or 9 and 4 to get?
Yeah, well, they could think about tying.
In fact, 7 here, 7 in 1. So
a big 6 will level the scores.
Yes. And Darren Ned, though, we have to give him credit. He
Yes.
has bowled a tremendous over.
He won't want to bowl a no ball here. Neither would he want to bowl a wide. And all the boundary riders, they will be with great alert if the ball comes in their direction. Here's the final delivery coming up. Balls.
Bowl
him!
Well,
Oh, what a spectacular finish to a great match. Bailey Blasters falling short, and so the Clove challengers, they've won this game. Ned, he has to be a hero. Knock the leg stump back. And what a dramatic match it has turned out to be. So Clove challengers, they've won this game. And it didn't look like that for a moment. Really, it didn't look like that. It looked as though Bailey Blasters would have blasted their way through. But in the end, Clove challengers challenged the Bailey Blasters. And they came home successfully. They've won by 6. It was a close contest.
well, and a number, 1 or 2 very strange incidents just would have altered the course. We did say that that blow to Dylan Douglas, maybe it can just change things a bit. Of course, the dismissal of Kotoy and so on, all of that added. And I think the Blasters, that run out by Dante Alexander. And of course, I think the Blasters will look back at it and probably wonder where did they go wrong.
Well, 3 overs for Ned, 3 wickets, for Ned off his 2, 3 for 12, 1 for 11. Hippolyte also bowled very well indeed. And it was expensive on the part of Redhead. Had none for 20 of 2. Jackson also a bit expensive, none for 19 of 2. And Sheldon Joseph was rather expensive, 18 coming off his over. Richard Rogers, I thought, bowled very well, though he didn't pick up a wicket, but he had 2 overs, none for 13 with 4 dot balls. So, in the end, 99 for 6. 99 for 6. And let's look at the Bailey Blasters batting. Good innings there by Kotoy before he was caught. Murray of the bowling of Ned, who came and really bowled very well. 29 deliveries for his 39 runs. And then there was another good knock by Micah Narayan. These two batted very well indeed and looked as though they will maybe bring it home as close as possible. He got 32, Narayan of 16. They were the 2 main contributors to a total of 99, and the rest sort of fell away a bit. Dante Alexander was run out for 10. I thought that also was a very crucial run out. There wasn't a very wise move at all on his part. There certainly wasn't 2 runs there. And so in the end, Bailey Blaster could muster only 99 for 6. Extras were rather healthy with 13, and so Clove Challengers, they have won, and they've won by 6 runs.
Well,
Close match. We wanted something close and exciting, and we got it.
and we did say earlier that anything close to 100 will probably provide that, and certainly did provide it. One can still, of course, Micah Narayan will be distraught. A number of the players would be distraught. They had it. But probably Clove Challengers will say, well, we still backed ourselves to do it. We were good enough to do it. And I think for what they have done so far in the tournament, you probably also still had to think that posting 100, they had what it takes to defend 100. They proved that. And certainly, as we look off screen there, you can see the captain still down on his knees. One can see him down on his knees, very distraught. Micah Narayan, probably reminiscing and looking at a few of these incidents, which would have brought them to that situation where they could not overhaul that total of 102 set by the Clove Challengers. So they continue to march merrily on. And
well, so close, yet so far. And the Clove Challengers won by 6 runs, a very narrow margin of victory. And again, we talk about this game of cricket always, so very often rather, a game of glorious uncertainties, and all it takes at times, a couple of good overs, a couple of wickets falling, and the tide will turn very quickly, as we in fact saw in that match. Again, I thought the run out of Alexander also, and the injury to Douglas, those were at crucial moments in the innings.
I'm tempted to say that Clove Challengers won by 6 runs, and it was comfortable in the end.
Well, that's what it looks like. At least 6 runs with, they needed, I think, 7 in the last delivery, and that was a good delivery by Ned. Really was good.
So if no one didn't see the end of the game and they saw that Clove Challengers would have won by 6 runs, they would have said, well, okay, maybe there were 19 needed in the final over, and they won in the end by 6. Good victory, but as I said, there was only 8 needed. I think
Keto took
7
a very
needed in
good
the
catch.
last. Yes, very good catch. And
It was in the air. Can't say it was swirling because the breeze wasn't very high,
so
but kept his eyes on the ball, and I think he may have made the call suggesting that it was his catch. Had to run about 20 yards across to his right, and in the end pulled off an absolutely beautiful catch. It was a captain's catch.
right, so that will be the talking point, I'm sure, during the break. And as we await the presentation ceremony. And Pastor, in your case, who were the outstanding performers? Of course, Darren Ned with 3 wickets would come into the reckoning.
Yeah, Kotoy also had a very good knock, but I would say definitely Darren Ned. That, his good all-round performance.
So as soon as they're ready for us, we'll go down.
So good, really, to have Darren Ned on your team, whether it's batting or bowling. He's such a good player, and always uses his all-round ability, and every team would want to vie for a player like him.
And so we will go down to Rondell, who is ready for us with the presentation.
All right, welcome to the post-match presentation for this match number 1. Micah, you restricted them just about 100, At one point, you really were in a good position. What went wrong?
It's hard to say. Think we batters didn't think positive. Even though we had to go 8-10 runs over, they were just trying to look bouncy ball, and those guys bowl a lot of that ball, and that put a lot of pressure on us.
All right. Well, that was a crucial match for you. Still have another match to come. Definitely, you will want to hope that you can bounce back from there.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, like cricket, the last game in hand, any team going out there and play, they want to come out victorious, and I think that's our main goal for tomorrow's game.
All right, well, thank you very much, Micah, and good luck in tomorrow's matchup. We are going to be speaking to the captain of the Clove Challengers, Roland Cato. Roland, another victory. The momentum really with you guys. You're showing that you've been in the finals last year and you deserve to be there again this year.
Yeah, I think the guys are playing good cricket. You know, we take each game one game at a time. So it's just about coming out here, trying to do the basics better than the other team. And as you say, the momentum with us. So we're just going to keep riding it.
All right. Well, I want you to just speak to your Clove Challengers fans and let them know what they can expect.
I mean, the way we play now, I mean, we still haven't played a perfect game as yet, because if you look on this wicket, we thought we could have get over at least 130. So there's a lot more in store. So we just want to encourage you guys to come out and support. We all need your support. So see you guys here tomorrow or whenever you're available to come.
All right. So there you had it, the Clove Challengers fans. They need your support. They haven't won the tournament as yet. They just may be in the lead. We are going to go to the presentations. And so I want to invite Miss Akisha Belfon. She's going to come and assist in presenting, first up, the Carib Power Hitter, and that goes to Kieran Kotoy. Kieran, you really were striking it well, really put on a good showing today. We were saying earlier in the commentary box, you know, you really hadn't strung much together, but today you would just seem to be on.
Yeah, that is cricket for you sometimes, man. Sometimes you're on, sometimes you're a little bit cold, but I'm just happy that, you know, at the end of the day, I can still come out and put off a good showing for my team. It's unfortunate that we didn't get over the line as per a win, but, you know, like I said, that is just cricket sometimes.
All right, well, you certainly have been a good feature in the tournament. I want you to just say something to your Bay Leaf Blasters fans right now.
I know that this has been, you know, the season that, I mean, you guys didn't want it in relation to, you know, us winning more games. But, you know, that is cricket sometimes, you know, stay strong, you know, keep the faith. And hopefully we can, you know, finish this group stage and obviously the tournament, you know, pretty strong for you guys.
All right, so that was Kieran Kotoy, the Bay Grenada, real property Grenada Bay Leaf Blasters, our power hitter in this matchup. We're going to present next the impact player or the impact bowler, and that one goes to none other than Darren Ned. Really bowled at a crucial time in the innings, and we will speak to him shortly because he is also the man of the match for this game. Darren, the form is with you. Things seem to be coming together, both bat and ball. Tell us about today's match.
Yeah, I mean, it was an easy game to play as we went out to bowl. But the team come well today, keeping a nerve and finishing well.
All right, you had a very crucial over. That final over, the momentum was with the Bay Leaf Blasters. What was your mindset going into that over?
Just basically keeping it simple, still sticking to the plan, bowl towards the field. Batsman will make the mistakes once the pressure builds on them.
All right, so the Clove Challengers, again, you move up, so you seek to distance yourself from the other teams. What will you say to your Clove Challengers fans at this point?
Continue to keep supporting, and thanks for the support.
All right, so there you had it, Clove Challengers. The support is much needed. They are at the top of the table. They have moved up to 12 points, but this is just one stage. Look ahead. They need to be in the finals and possibly maybe win this year's tournament. We wait to see. So from the presentation, the post-match presentation, we want to ask you to stay with us. We're going to come back here at the Last Just playing field for the afternoon game, the Ginger Generals versus the Saffron Strikers.